I'm really excited today. We had a really unique opportunity. Mille has for a long time been running a program called Aanjibimaadizing, which means changing lives. The tribe identified language and culture as an essential component of long, healthy, happy living in Indigenous communities. And they had some money that came in through grants, and we're looking at the best way to allocate resources, and decided that rather than running the elders ragged, just trying to teach everything they know with a really time-sensitive effort, we identified 25 fluent speakers left in the community of Mille at the time that this work started. We said, let's set them up to teach people for hundreds of years to come. The tribe got behind it and got all of it in motion.
I wrote a story about how I got on the Department of Transportation working with the men. I was the first woman and the first native to be hired in the state of Minnesota and Brainerd for MnDOT. So I wrote about that.
We've actually published 5 books now through this effort. Almost all of the work has happened just before COVID hit and through the entire COVID pandemic. During this time, several of the elders passed away. Probably 20% of the fluent speakers in Mille passed away through COVID. So it has been a trying time, but coming through this far with the pandemic and all of the work, to see the fruits of their efforts, to see their voices preserved in perpetuity and being used now to teach and advance our language is really heartening and exciting. The whole community is really thrilled to see these works come.
I'm here for the signing of our books that we all were authors on. I think it's pretty exciting. I don't think I'm an author.
The Minnesota Historical Society has a lot of faith in the elders in Mille. They published these 5 books in a language that no one on the staff there can read, which is pretty remarkable. And through their support, we will actually be able to keep the books in print in perpetuity and have the marketing and distribution mechanism for that organization behind this work. So it's not just a ma and pa print operation or the needle lost in a stack of needles somewhere on Amazon, but it'll really have longevity and access across the Ojibwe world.
Most of the books, the stories that we wrote was stuff that happened to us when we were young, or things that we did, like wild ricing and how to make maple syrup and to go fish and clean their own fish that they catch, different things like that, and what to do. Make sure that you do your ceremonial stuff when you have to.
So the 5 books cover a spectrum of, themes and, kind of target age levels and so forth. But the full Ojibwe language is on display. In all of the communities on the United States, there are just some hundreds of speakers left. And, they're all elders. These are very endangered dialects of Ojibwe.
Because there isn't hardly anybody that talks Ojibwe anymore. I know some of them can understand it, but they can't talk it, But it's coming back. I see it, it's coming back. Feels good to hear people talking and you understand them.
It might look easy from the outside, but it is hard work. For most Indigenous languages, their fluent speakers are not literate. They don't read and write in the Indigenous language that they speak so well. So, and the people who are developing writing systems and tools, like linguists or maybe students at a university, they're usually not fluent speakers. So you got to build a really unique set of skills around literacy in both the elders and the people who are doing the transcription work. And it all has to be right, and to high academic standards.
But we didn't have too much problems. We just told their stories, and everything was funny. We had a lot of laughs, and we were very comfortable with what we were doing.
The future vitality of Ojibwe is not certain, but it is certainly possible because of what these elders have done.
Along with the books, the Aanjibimaadizing Project is developing a Rosetta Stone Ojibwe language learning program.